Hello and thank you for joining us on the Monday edition of Journalist Hangout. I'm Benga Oreshegun. Today on the program, President Tinubu declares 7 days of mourning for former President Buhari as Obasanjo, IBB, Jonathan, AU, governors and others mourn the late statesman. And later on the show, Osun PDP declares support for Governor Adeleke amid speculation over potential defection to the APC. Well, I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade Otitoju and Gani Kayode Balogun, GKB. Journalist Hangout starts right now. Who died on Sunday at the age of 82 in a London hospital cannot be overemphasized. Eminent Nigerians, including President Bola Tinubu, former Presidents Olusegun Obasanjo, Goodluck Jonathan and Ibrahim Babangida, alongside governors, monarchs and international figures, have poured out heartfelt tributes, mourning the loss of a patriot, soldier and statesman who left an indelible mark on Nigeria's history. While President Tinubu has directed that former president will be laid to rest in his hometown Daura in Katsina State with full state honors, he has also declared 7 days of mourning in honor of the departed leader. Okay, BK, President Tinubu has declared Tuesday as a public holiday and 7 days of mourning for the late president. I mean, talk to me, what more should we expect?
I think it's significant that the president has shown how much regard, how much respect he has for the immediate past president of our country. He played his part in ensuring that President Tinubu became the standard bearer of the party. And to those who always say, I didn't want President Tinubu to become to succeed him. I think Buhari, the late Buhari, did his best to navigate that terrain very well, because a good number of his kitchen cabinet and members of his government, people in his government, did not want President Tinubu to be the candidate of the party. But when governors went before him and said, tell us whom
your preferred.
Yes, who is your candidate? He said no, that everybody should go and contest. If he was an Obasanjo, he would have told them, this is the person that I've chosen.
And everybody must align.
Yes, the way Obasanjo chose Yaradua. This is not an invention, it is history. Obasanjo chose Yaradua over and above everyone. But in the case of
late
Buhari, he told them to go and contest. So he refused to pick an individual as his preferred person. He could have done it. And he could have done whatever he needed to do to make sure that his own person prevailed.
Yes.
His deputy was in the race. He didn't say, okay, it has to be my deputy. He attended the primary election. He was part of the primary election. He was there physically, along with his wife. We didn't see him try to twist people. So whatever President Tinubu did or does for him at this stage is thoroughly deserved. This is Nigeria.
Okay.
The Nigerian president has tremendous powers.
True.
And if the Nigerian president badly wants the successor, especially within his own party, he may not win in the national election, but within his own party, as the leader of the party, if he wanted to do it, he would have done it. People could argue, oh, some of those, there were things that were put on Tinubu's part to ensure that I didn't get there.
Obstacles.
Obstacles, yes. No doubt about it, some of those things happened. But Buhari, as an individual, didn't directly impose a candidate on his party. People were waiting for him to say this is the consensus candidate. But Buhari was not going to do that. He wasn't that kind of person. So I'm sure that President Tinubu, in the inner recesses of his heart, knows that by not openly siding with an individual, he did him a big favor.
True.
It's not everyone who thinks like this. There was someone would cite the Naira coloration exercise and other things. Yes. Because a good number of those people who work for the president didn't want to see, who work for Buhari, didn't want to see Tinubu succeed him. For reasons best known to them. Only a few of them, you can see even in this government, only very, very few of them are with him. And it's testament to President Tinubu's capacity to forgive. There are some people that I know worked
against him then.
Against him. Some people that I know did their best to make sure that Oshomole was removed as chairman of the party. Because Oshomole was deemed loyal to Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I still see some of them in this government. People that I know. I won't mention their names.
Yeah, exactly.
If they are watching me, some of them will be apprehensive now that maybe Jide will name names. I'm not going to name names. But they know themselves. Some are even ministers. Okay, let's give it. So that
let's not go
doesn't
to
become clear. So this is the thing. Buhari deserved whatever honor the president gives him, whatever honor Nigerians pay to him, whatever respect Nigerians pay to him. I think he deserves it.
Okay. All right. I mean, tributes continue to pour in, and for the late president, from world leaders this time. But talk to me about his legacies. What legacy would you say that late Muhammadu Buhari left behind?
There are two people in the history of our nation that folklore has woven into the body fabric of Nigeria. One, of course, is Olusegun Obasanjo, and the other is Muhammadu Buhari. Because both of them served
as a military.
They were both head of states, and they were both presidents. They were both federal commissioners, and they were both civilian presidents. Both of them are known to be strong-willed. Very, very, when it comes to the issue of national unity. Because they come from two different directions. But nobody can deny that both men, as we say in Ibadan, put Nigeria on their head, as it were. For Buhari, his legacies will be tied to two eras. The first one is the December 31 coup that ousted the
former President Shagari.
And then his tenacity over a period of 12 years to become Nigerian civilian president. Those of us in the arts, we call that the redemption arc. For a man who came in as a savior, was removed even before he could settle down, to come back and redeem his image almost 20 years later. It's not a favor granted many. Because normally, once your story is written, history will simply stamp it. But like I said, Buhari has been able to redeem his 1984-86 image by coming back and trying very, very hard to make Nigeria work, really in terms of infrastructure, in terms of agriculture, and in terms of fiscal federalism. People keep forgetting that although the governors have not moved on this, it was the Buhari administration that removed from the exclusive list energy, rail transportation, things that are fundamental to our federation. Though most of the governors have not moved on it, it doesn't mean that it was not part of his legacy to free Nigerians from the shackles of putting everything in the center without working about whatever to call. So to me, the legacy are many, but the two I've just mentioned. His ability to come in at a critical juncture to save our republic. Whether he did a good job or not is nothing entirely.
Yeah.
But he was willing to put himself forward. To say, okay, fine, Nigeria is drifting. Let me come in and see whether I can put it back on track.
Okay.
Both in 1984 and then later in 2015.
All right, then. We have a veteran journalist and academic, Sule Yao Sule, joining us via Zoom, from Kano. Sule Yao Sule, thank you so much for joining us on the show, Journalist Hangout.
Thank you very much. All
right, Sule, the tributes have continued to pour in all over the world for the president. I mean, talk to me about the legacy the former president, the late Muhammadu Buhari, left behind. Let's start from there.
Well, first and foremost, one must say the fact that Buhari has stand as someone who is seen as very transparent. And that could be the reason why he maintained his followership for almost a decade. If you remember, Buhari keeps getting that 8 million, 12 million votes for 3 consecutive elections. And why was that happening? I think because people have identified him as someone who is transparent, who is championing the cause of a common man. Because in the northern part of Nigeria, in those days, especially in build up to 2003 election, whoever that is contesting any election, be it local government, state, federal, he must attach his picture with that of Buhari. If you really want to win an election in the northern part of the country, then you must attach your campaign portrait with Buhari's own. People identify themselves to Buhari as a sign of winning an election. So, honestly, Buhari was someone who one can say hardly to be replaced in the northern part of the country because of the kind of blind followership that he enjoyed. And up to today, he still commands certain respect, especially among the poor man. They still believe this is the only person that can take us out of our problems. So missing Buhari, honestly, in this part of the country is not something that can easily be forgotten.
All right, BK, let's start from the very beginning, the early life of former President, the late Muhammadu Buhari. Now, I did my little research. I saw he was the 23rd, child of his family. What does this tell us, from a man from such a humble background and rose to the highest office in the land?
Yes, it shows that determination, hard work, integrity, honesty, and solid principles can take you so far. President Buhari had a very humble beginning, but today is Nigeria's second longest ruler, having ruled our country for 9 months, 7 months, and 27 days. So he's the second longest Nigerian ruler. And his story is a story of determination, as I said earlier, because he lost 3 consecutive elections, and yet he was able to return to power in 2015. So people give up easily after stumbling a number of times. But Buhari's story shows that when you stumble, all you need to do is dust yourself up. You can succeed again. And there are parallels that we can point to. Abraham Lincoln is easily...
the most obvious one.
Yes. After all those attempts, he became American president. I remember Atiku Abubakar even talking about him. Atiku too, I think if we contest the next election, that will be his 7th attempt.
Oh dear.
So perhaps it could be the Abraham Lincoln of Nigeria, if he's lucky. So Buhari joined the army as a young man, in that era, people were happy to join the army, and Buhari joined the army, and he rose through the ranks and became GOC in 3 different divisions. In the modern era, is almost unheard of to be GOC in 3 divisions. And his last division was the 3rd Armored Division, the headquarters in Jos. That was his last position before becoming president. And that, his performance at GOC 3rd Division was a tricky one, because he could have been fired from the army. And at the same time, that showed him as a man of tremendous courage and undoubted patriotism. The Chadian rebels were in the habit of coming into Nigeria. You know, Wadaye and Hosni Habre,
Okay.
2 former presidents of Chad. One took over from the other, one deposed the other, and rebels on both sides began to fight one another. So in the northern part of Nigeria, especially Borno State, they were called Kwanta Kwanta, because that was the language, the only Nigerian language they understood was Kwanta. That means lie.
Okay.
They will come, raid vehicles, steal from Nigerians and go into their country. So they now went as far as occupying some parts of Nigeria, specifically Borno State. Buhari as GOC 3rd Division, 3rd Armored Division, then ordered his troops to go after them. He not only flushed them out of Nigerian territory, he moved deep into
the
Chadian territory. It became an international issue. The president then, Shagari, was embarrassed because Buhari didn't get permission
before going
to move his troops and tanks into another sovereign country. So it became a big problem at that time. Issue. And Buhari said, well, he swore to defend the territorial integrity of his country, and that whoever breached the sovereignty of our country, the territorial integrity of our country, he didn't need permission to come after such a person.
He has a point.
Yes. So
he has a point.
General Kennedy was chief of army staff at that time. So it was General Kennedy who pleaded with the president. He was going to be fired. Pleaded with the president and then ordered Buhari to withdraw those troops from Chadian territory. So Buhari withdrew those troops. At that time, the army had influence. The civil authority would listen to them and all that. So Buhari withdrew those troops, but there was a very famous remark from him. He said, I gave them a bloody nose. I still remember, even as a student at that time, I still remember that's bloody nose. And I tried to find out what's the meaning of bloody nose. It was Buhari that made me to actually search for the meaning. So he showed that, look, he will not tolerate nonsense.
Absolutely.
And invariably, that was his last position. When that coup came, people always say Buhari ruled Nigeria from 1983. No. Buhari became president in 1984. When that coup took place, on Sunday, December 31st, 1983, Buhari was not immediately made head of state. The commander, 9th Infantry Brigade, Sani Abacha, was the one who announced the coup.
Yes.
The person who announced Buhari as the head of state was Major General Ibrahim Babangida.
Okay.
So two different days. The announcement came around 1 a.m. So it had slipped into another day. His swearing in was later that morning.
Was it part of the coup?
No.
They just, no. They, in fact, Abacha, I think IBB had said earlier that they just felt that he was the right person. They brought him.
They must have seen something.
So it's not as if he was physically part of the coup.
Okay.
But they felt that he had the candor, he had the capacity to lead them. And given his honesty, given his integrity and all unblemished career, and somebody who had headed those divisions, let me even list them, 4th Infantry Division, it was GOC's 2nd Mechanized Division and GOC 3rd Armored Division, the one in Jos. So he had been prepared for leadership. They just went
and picked him.
And in fact, one of those generals said, we can't risk our life to do a coup that we cannot, then we come into government, we do not have a say. That was partly why they removed him in 1985. But one has to put it in context.
In proper context.
When people are saying Buhari began to rule Nigeria in 1983, it's a historical fallacy. He began to rule Nigeria
in 1984.
That's 1st January 1984. The morning of 1st January. That was when he became head of state. They just planned the coup. They didn't announce a leader on time. And then I still remember their first word press conference that Buhari had to address. You know, so all of those, the things that happened at that time, I still remember very well. So it's just like people who say Obasanjo is the first military ruler to hand over to a civilian regime. It's an absolute fallacy. Jerry Rawlings handed over power to civilians before Obasanjo, and I challenge people to fact-check me on this. They will see that of Jerry Rawlings came before Obasanjo. But you keep hearing about that Obasanjo is the first African leader to hand over to a civilian. It's a lie. History, we always find a way to correct these things. And I'm telling Nigerians to fact-check me now. As I talk now, fact-check me. You will see that Jerry Rawlings
was the first.
Before Obasanjo. So in the same vein, Buhari became head of state of Nigeria
in 1984.
January 1, 1984.
Okay. All right then. We need to go on this quick break because many have described former President Muhammadu as someone who gave his all for Nigeria. We're going to talk about that right after this break. Don't go anywhere. Still Journalist Hangout right here and GKB. Now, before we went on that break, I asked you, many have described the late Muhammadu as someone who gave his all, having started his career at the age of 19. Now, how would you describe him, his time as a soldier and military head of state?
But actually,
I wasn't born then, so maybe just give us that history.
I think Jide missed out a very critical part of his bio, that was part of the Obasanjo administration.
Okay, as a minister of the petroleum.
I remember.
And as a governor of Buhari State.
So
yes, of course, we'll go there.
Apart from the military...
And he's the first chairman of NNPC.
Apart from the military background, where he excelled, he also excelled both as a governor, as well as what they call federal commissioner, at a particular point in time. So when you are talking about somebody giving his all, I have to include that.
Yes.
Because we just look at what he did as a military man. But he also did those while he was still in the military. And those are the things that the coup plotters saw. In him, that the man was federal commissioner for petroleum in a period where there was no EFCC. And he left with his integrity intact. And he was a governor of what is the equivalent now of Borno, Yobe, Bauchi.
Okay, all three were together at the time.
Northeastern States. And again, the same principle applies. So when they came in to remove the Shagari administration, they were sure they had found the right person to lead them into what they call the integrity phase of Nigerian development. But that's a story for another day.
Okay.
A man who joined the army at 19 and never left because he was a general till he died. When he went back to the US, his old school, one of his mates said he remembered him as the Ramrod.
Ramrod Street.
And the man is always straight. I never believed that. Because his mates, that they went to war college in the US. The guy was already bent. And the man is still standing.
Buhari was not bent.
No, not Buhari, the man.
Okay, the man.
Said so.
Yes.
I know you know.
But he was still standing.
You are still Ramrod.
Ramrod Street.
And that to me is key to discipline. And but you can accuse Buhari of many things.
Okay.
You cannot accuse him of lack of discipline.
Yes.
But sometimes the discipline is to his own detriment. Because there are times that people expect him to bend just a little. And he has refused.
Yes.
That's one of the principles that...
There are times when they're expecting to intervene and they will say no. No, politically you have to intervene. In some situations. You would rather prefer things to happen naturally.
All right. Okay. Go. Yeah, you still want to...
No, that's the point. So that's what led to what happened to the APC in 2023. Because I remember that we spoke to one of his, and he said the Buhari will never intervene in this election. That all those using intervention in his name are just wasting their time. The Buhari that he knew would rather allow the system to sort itself out.
All right.
And to intervene.
All right, let's go over to Kano now. Sule, thank you so much for staying with us. Now, if you're to compare his reign as a military head of state and as a Democrat, what's your comparison? Okay, try and unmute yourself, please. We can't hear you. Try and unmute yourself.
I think one, even looking at his role or his performance at PTF, I think it's one of the reasons why Nigerians actually stick to Buhari. Because if you look at what happened during his tenure as a PTF chairman, there was a government agency set up by head of state General Abacha as a result of the increase on the petroleum price. So the surplus was going to PTF, and PTF was able to transform Nigeria in all sectors, actually, health, infrastructure, and education. PTF performed credibly well. And I think if you look at it also, is part of the reason why people actually stick to Buhari, because of his performance at PTF. So also during his military era, one could remember his stance for... Remember that famous advertisement, why are you taking out of Nigeria? Andrew.
Nigerians were very conscious. That's the war against indiscipline.
Indiscipline, yes.
Why?
Nigerians were very conscious at that material time. So, and all this can be attributed to President or General Buhari then.
So basically, it took discipline seriously.
Yeah, Bika, we need to go on this quick break. And when we return, the conversation continues. Don't go anywhere. Still Journalist Hangout.
With deep sorrow and on behalf of the Progressive Governors Forum, I, Senator Hope.
Germ-filled journey to work and the sweaty journey back home. What else can give you all day long protection?
Germs are everywhere, but the Toll Swap Hour Protector Shield shields your family every day. That's be 100% sure.
The Nigerian national flag represents our country's history, culture, and identity. It was designed in 1959. The colors are Emerald Green 2.0, which represents agriculture, and Immaculate White represents unity and peace. Know how to handle our flag. Illuminate the environment or don't fly the flag overnight. Do not fly a dirty or tattered flag. Take such flag to the nearest National Orientation Agency office for proper disposal and replacement. The national flag can only be flown at half-mast on the directive of the federal government. The national flag must be flown at the same or higher height when displayed alongside other flags. Don't burn or allow the national flag to fall on the ground. Do not print, decorate, modify, or insert the coat of arms on the flag. Our national heroes are not buried with the flag. They are honored by presenting it to their next of kin during internment. Respect our national flag. Be a real Nigerian.
This message was brought to you by the National Orientation Agency, NOA.
Every major news story is with many perspectives and layered with different levels of impact.
Hello. What time did this happen? We will be right there.
At TVC News, we follow the big and major news, gathering the facts, witnessing the outcome.
I am here live at the aftermath of the approval of the new national minimum wage.
We are TV Station of the Year, not just for breaking news, but for being first, fair and accurate. TVC News.
All right, thank you so much for staying. Still journalist hangouts. All right, BK, we're still talking about the late Muhammadu Buhari. Now, how he transformed from a soldier to a Democrat. Your opinion on this?
Buhari, after he was kicked out of power by in a bloodless coup, and the people succeeded him, didn't succeed in changing Nigeria, didn't fulfill a lot of the promises that they made, and the economy began to nosedive. Our currency became weaker thanks to the structural adjustment program. The fact that we wanted to listen to the IMF and the other Brentwood people. So Buhari became more and more popular outside of governance, outside of power. Became more and more popular. Seeing that he was becoming more and more popular and having sympathy for him because of the way he was put under house arrest in Benin by the government that took over from him, by the IBB regime. Seeing the role they played in causing the divorce that happened between him and his wife, Safinatu Yusuf. Because Buhari sent Safinatu Yusuf packing. Because while he was under house arrest, the Better Life for Rural Women, headed by
the wife Ivy Miriam.
I mean, yes, Miriam Babangida gave her a gift of a 504 saloon car. And the husband now felt, come on, I was in detention
by it.
And you allowed this to happen. So Buhari sent her packing. This was not what anyone told me. This was what he told me by himself inside his house. At Haliru Dantoro in Kaduna, myself and my immediate supervisor, Timothy Bonnet, we went to him because Buhari was very lonely. At that time, people were scared to associate with him because they felt the military could come for them. But we were going there. He gave us an exclusive interview at the news magazine, which sold in a manner that we couldn't have imagined. So we were always going there just to see him. So he told us that I felt betrayed. Why should my wife have anything to do with my tormentors? So that marriage ended, and later the woman died. So the point I'm making, it became popular outside of government. And people felt, oh, so the people sent this man packing did not have good intentions for our country. Then some of his very loyal friends, people like Mahmoud Tukur, is deceased now. He's from Adama, light-skinned man. People like Umar Farouk, people like Adamu, who was his chief of staff at some point and became Minister of Education. You know, people like Dirty Joe, they came up with what is called TBO, the Buhari Organization. The Buhari Organization brought people of like minds together, and they were able to convince Buhari to get into politics. And they continue to Trojan. They will lose election, sometimes in unfair circumstances. They continue to Trojan. And after 2011, when he wept publicly, we never thought we would see him come back to play politics. When he lost at the Supreme Court in after the 2011 election, I covered that Supreme Court judgment. I worked with them to where he addressed the people. He just told them, let's be patient, let's not take the law into our hands. You know, I still remember very hard, people were shouting, Megaskia, say Megaskia, say Megaskia, you know. Again, I had given up that he could become president. But it's the power of determination and good strategy. At the end of the day, he worked with Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and other people. The legacy parties that came together, notably the ACN, which metamorphosed from AC. ACN, yes. The faction, the Rocha-Sokrocha faction of Abga came in. You know, Rochas won election on the platform of Abga. You know, his faction moved into the APC, and they were able to put together a formidable group with Buhari's guaranteed 12 million votes. The only time Buhari didn't get 12 million votes was when he had to contest against Yaradua in Katsina, both of them from Katsina, from the northwest. So he didn't get the 12 million votes at that time, but other times the 12 million votes was assured. So and Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu said, look, if we can get someone who will give us 12 million votes without spending money, all we need to do is work hard in other zones, and we'll be able to win. And they were able to defeat the incumbent by 4 percentage points. People today may see it as, oh, how many votes did they contribute? 3 million votes. But without those 3 million votes, they will not have won the election. In any case, yes, and they will not have the spread. Because all those years, he was scoring 12 million votes.
In one part of the country.
In just one part. That is the core north. And he wasn't winning the election. So at the end of the day, we came together and Buhari became head of state. I mean, president. So, and, you know, it was tough for him to transit. Yes, it was tough for him. Sometimes you want to take some actions that are... Remember, even when Buhari tried to rule with what this called that Trump uses now, this instrument of executive orders, the Supreme Court said no. Yes. So he had to now realize that, oh, those who fled, those who had, those who believed that Buhari would come for them because they are stealing money. Because that musician said, in Kasata Kagudu, if you know that you are stealing money, run away. So many of them ran away. In fact, somebody told me at the airport that the place where they used to park private jets, that suddenly no jet was there. Because they thought Buhari had come.
The body language.
Yes, they felt he would deal with them, you know. And it was a thing of joy for teaming supporters who had always wanted him. I've never seen a Nigerian, all of the years that I've been covering politics, my mom got me to be interested in politics as a little boy, just about 12 years, 13 years. I've never seen an individual as popular as Muhammadu Buhari. And I doubt if
anyone can feel that.
Yes. No, I doubt it. I don't see that happening. When I described his popularity as similar to that of Usman Danfodio, people said, oh, this is sacrilege. Why should I talk like? But I saw This with my own eyes. The extreme popularity. You know, the young people were just happy that at last a man that we love with all our heart has become president. People, remember people trekking?
Yes, yes.
You know, trekking hundreds of kilometers to say just for Buhari. And there were places where they told him don't come to campaign. In Yobe, they told him don't come to campaign. In Borno, they said no, you don't need to come to campaign. You have our votes already.
All right, GKB. BKO said something, his resilience, you know, in losing election. What does this tell you about him?
Well, the transition between becoming from
the
military background and something, of course, did not happen overnight. It was a gradual process. So for him to now become a Democrat was really a long shot. And he learned it on the job.
Yes.
So because a lot of people kept looking back at the Obasanjo years, and now he was able to trample on everybody. They assume that Buhari will come in the same fashion, or just trampling on the laws, do whatever he wants. But he has learned his lesson. That okay, this was the perception that people had of me. I cannot play into that role. So sometimes, even to the detriment of his party members, they will expect certain things to happen. Being a general, he would rather defer and consult than to take the action that they wanted. And that to me is the truth, because it takes a lot of patience for a man who is using to say, go, decree, and you go. So now sit down and say, okay, let's discuss.
What does the Constitution say?
And then the AG will say, no, sir, we can't go that route. And I will say, no, sir, our people will not like this. No, sir, we will not get votes from here. And for somebody who is full of action, that can be a detriment going forward. But he has learned. So the Buhari of CPC years, even Buhari of APP is different from Buhari of CPC. Because he was very reluctant to form the party. He thought they could still exist within the confines of APP. He took the man in Nasarawa, the former governor of Nasarawa, and co. Who now said, no, we will register this party. We will move forward. And the party won one single seat at that point.
One state.
So that's how they move forward. So the transformation was gradual, but was effective. Because at any given time, 2003, 2007, and that one was even very, 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 very tough. Then before we come to 2011, right now gave up. Because he was always thinking, we'll get justice in the courts. We'll get justice because he was a believer in making sure that the case go the whole hog to the last part. But by 2011, it was obvious that the Nigerian Constitution is basically based...
He felt he gave up in 2011.
Because he realized that the Constitution or even the electoral law, even till now, laid the onus on the person complaining to prove his case, not on any fact. They don't care. As long as you can prove your case, then the case is yours.
All right, Sule Yause, I'll come to you now. Let's look at the legacies of President. Okay, he's not here. Okay, now, BK, the former president, late Muhammadu Buhari, is 8 years as president. Some of the bills he signed, the Disability Act, the Electricity Act.
Not too young to rule. Not
too young to... How will you describe, his 8 years as president?
Well, it's a mixed bag. I prefer to see the cup half full than half empty. When you talk of infrastructure, long neglected infrastructure received a boost under Buhari. Look at the first dual carriageway in northern Nigeria. That is the Abuja, Kaduna, Kano highway. It had become a death trap, a terrible shape. Buhari leveraged on funds stolen by Sani Abacha that some people want us to believe he kept for Nigeria. May God forgive you and your lies. Buhari leveraged on it, used it to rebuild that road. Rebuild, not resurfacing, rebuild. In some cases, they had to even remove some bridges. to expand the road. You see the road now, I think it is the Abuja end that is bad now. They've done a tremendous job. Look at the second Niger Bridge. It's a long time that they've been talking about it. Ulo Jonathan started it. They did the, what's it called?
Assessments.
No, the inauguration of the road, the takeoff of the road. Okay. They call it, what do they call that?
Flag off.
Yeah, let's use flag off. The flag off. Where you turn the sword.
Break the sword.
So they did that, but nothing happened. It was Buhari that started that road and completed it. There's no way, and there are others, like the Ikom Road, like the Eweto Bridge. All of the work that Fashola did, that we are grateful about. It is Buhari.
The Bonny Bridge.
It is Buhari. Yes, it is Buhari. So he did, and talking about integrated rice mills and all that, it was Buhari that came and said, we are spending too much money importing rice. It was Buhari that came and said, we must eat what we kill. And he began to encourage rice mills. Today, we have far more rice mills than we had before Buhari took over, because he wanted to empower the farmers. The anchor borrowers scheme and all that one was ill-fated, but the intention was good. So he wanted us to be self-sufficient.
Okay.
One thing about President Buhari was he was extremely honest. But you can't say that about many of the people who work for him. And in terms of supervising people, making sure that those people did not step out of line, I think you can say that he failed in that area. If he had people with half the integrity that he had to work with him, honestly, our case won't be the way it is now, because the truth has to be told. As a leader, very decent, but some of the people around him were as clean as a sewage pit. This is my own submission, but he remained extremely popular with the young people. And you see, Rarara today, it was singing about Buhari that made him popular. Buhari ya Chizabe, Baba Buhari ya Chizabe, Mesansi ya Kazaba, said Buhari has won the election. And he was one who said, Inkasen Kasa Takagudu. So many people were afraid. Those rich people, they took to their heels. So, and again, Buhari, he said at one point that he wished he was younger when he took over.
Yes.
To run Nigeria is not a tea party. All of the people making noise on social media, test them with even running a community development association. Let us see what they will achieve. It is such a shame that we are seeing people mocking the dead. You are mocking the dead. Do you know the kind of death that will claim you?
Absolutely.
You don't know. It's un-African, but these days, because of social media, our people have gone crazy. I'm surprised that attention-seeking, insignificant people, they will go on social media and record and be mocking Buhari and be writing nonsense. People that, when they die, nobody will take notice of them. Nobody will even know. Buhari has done his bit. He's gone. And you cannot say he didn't die a fulfilled man. How many people get to become head of state of the biggest African nation?
3 times. And
he ruled Nigeria 2 times. And you are mocking him, you are abusing him, you think you are making sense. You are just showing your foolhardiness.
All right.
It's as simple as that.
Now, to round this conversation up, and let's look at his immediate family, just in 1 minute. His immediate family and how they are coping in this period.
Well, I'm sure the family will give thanks to Allah. Don't forget, for the better part of his first term, he was coming out of one hospital or the other.
Yes.
Before his step. If I remember, some people that would remain nameless already did his obituary.
Even before he died. And they said he died. Don't know, some are still saying he died since 2017.
But anyway,
backwards-minded.
Anyway, it's a fine place for us to leave it. Going down memory lane. It felt like I was in history class. But Mike, thank you so much for taking us down memory lane. Appreciate you.